Hello everyone and welcome back to a deck deep dive that really was necessary again, as we haven't talked about 5th Panzer in quite a while and the meta all around it has been changed, so it's time to get it back on the menu, even though the division itself hasn't changed super much since back then. But it's a fun division and we're gonna go into this. But before we jump in, quick shout out to the third WARNO League Super Tournament and WARNO League 0.5, as WARNO League Super Tournament is coming up next weekend. Single elimination action. Everybody is welcome to sign up. We have over $370 of prize pool already, thanks to Lost Guardsman coming in there with $250 already. It can go higher still. It will go up till the end of the tournament, thanks to Matcherino fundraiser. And WARNO League 0.5 coming up right after. Everybody welcome there. It will be split into different skill sets, so no matter if you have 10 hours in the game or 10,000, you will have a nice opponents to face up there, as it will be split into 3 different segments: for beginners, for intermediates, and for the veterans. So come in and join us there. But with that said, let's jump in here into the 5th Panzer and let's have a look here on to the logistics tab, where we have the Fuchs, the Unimog, the Mancat 6x6. Yeah, decent supply tab here. The Mancats really great for the artillery, cost efficient there. I wish you would get 3 per card, but 2 per card is decent as well. Unimog getting you nice supplier here as well. 500 per card, quick on the front line. And the Fuchs can take a bit of damage, 90 points, it's fast. It's a really decent CV here to have. Infantry tab, you have a bit more CVs with the leaders in Marder 1A2s, the Panzer Grenadier leader. And then we have Pioneers here for some CQC action, as these can be quite solid. They're not great, but they're both 10-man squads. The Handflam Patrono is not fantastic, neither is the MP2, but they do the job and they're only 45 points. Not a big fan of the Transport Panzer Fuchs, because they only have MG3s, and those are not great for the 20 points. So yeah, taking only the Unimog here, not the APCs. Fuchs sadly a bit underwhelming at the moment. But you get Marders, and Marders are pretty good. Big question is always Marder 1 or Marder 1A2 or 1A3. And it's tough. The 1 frontal armor is a difference, but also reduces your speed. So that is an issue there as well. And I like my speed, not gonna lie. I like my speed off-road, and I like 5 points cheaper as well. So I take the 1A2. It's a big debate. I saw Karma doing the 1A2, I will do the 1A2. Same goes for the Milan version here, with the Panzer Grenadiers inside. I do the 1A2 here as well, but I know a lot of people take the 1A3. Let me know down below which one you do and why. And then the M40A1 coming in here as a flank protector, and some more modders with Milan 2s coming around here. The Milan 2 pretty important, with its 24 penetration, having a decent, powerful ATGM. Unfortunately, the Martyrs only getting the Milan 1 on top, which is not quite as powerful. Artillery-wise, you get a decent loadout here as well. The Mars hits hard. The M109, yeah, the Mars with the reloads that you get out of logistics. Like on some maps, this thing can really help out a lot. M109s get pretty good firepower onto the battlefield as well. And then if you need a bit of spam artillery, I like the 105s. They are quite rapid in the rate of fire. You can bring them around in great numbers. They still have decent range, more than the mortars, and they're more accurate than the mortars as well. So I enjoy these guys quite a bit, though obviously the mortars get you the advantage of dropping a bit quicker their smoke, but the artillery piece here is a lovely one. I really like the 105s, especially as you can protect it against counter battery by hitting the enemy with your counter battery with the Mars and the M109. So yeah, the big guns here, they only come 1 per card, so I'm not a big fan there. Rather take some other things. So the M110s are pretty decent as well. Tank tab is where this division's strong point lies. It has really good heavy tanks. The Leos are absolutely fantastic to use, especially thanks to the accuracy on the move. The Leo 2A3s here and Leo 2A4s, the 2A4 being better in frontal armor penetration and accuracy. so helping out there. A nice level up. The 21 penetration is really, really good, but it's really expensive, so you can't always afford it. 2A3 more affordable, and then Leo 1A5s and Leo 1A1s both go around nicely, as I misclicked there. Together with the M48s, you get a really nice combination of cheap stuff here. Leo 1A5s with the long range together with one Leo 2A3 can really help out. The 16 penetration is a decent number on the long range here. The M48s here not doing so well in general, but they have a 50 cal on top, so they are decent fire support in a division that otherwise don't have super much MG firepower, and that goes for 55 points, so they're just a bit more expensive than a Marder, for example. So sometimes the M48s can be really nice on the flank. 5 frontal armor obviously doesn't stop much, but it's just here for some support action. I'm always a bit toying with the Jaguar. I feel like it still needs to go 5 points lower to be starting to be worthwhile again. It has decent stealth and so on, but it has a tow too, which is the only ATGM with 2,625 meters that you get. And in team games, I take these guys, but in 1v1s, I don't. And this is a 1v1 deck, so I don't take them here. Recon tab, we got some Luxes. They are nice at the beginning of the game to get into with some fire support there. Fernspeer, not the greatest LCR unit because they don't have any anti-tank, and sniper rifles got nerfed quite a bit. They don't have any TNT either and so on. The MP5s are nice. They still deal fantastic damage in CQC against other infantry, thanks to shock and special forces. But they are pretty focused on what they do. They are somewhat affordable as well, but I'm not the biggest fan when it comes to GSR units. There's better out there. Though it's still a GSR unit, so you take them because they give you great recon, and also it's the green guy, so you take it for that as well. Jäger Aufklärer here, coming in as your chunky recon. The normal Aufklärers here are a bit too expensive. If they would go down 5-10 points, I would be considering them instead. Yes, I would like to have a cheaper recon unit maybe around, but the Jäger Aufklärer is quite solid at what it does as well. It can be used with infantry plops nicely, as it can survive 11 hit points on a recon squadron is really nice, because it can't just be hit out of existence and then you're blind. It needs some good firepower to kill this thing, and that is why I like the Jäger Aufklärer. To push with your infantry, to push in front of your tanks over the open field, what's taking fire. These guys are there to be beefy, and they do that pretty decently. You don't want to use them as anti-tank. The Panzer Faust 44 is not really reliable. Like, it has decent accuracy, it has decent range, but the 14 penetration is an issue. AA-wise, you have a decent setup here as well. I like my Fliegerfausts, I like my Roland 3s, Gepards. You could argue for the Roland 2 instead of the Gepard or the Roland 3, so that you have some more without AA without radar. But if you micro them, it's not so hard to micro against Seed, and then the Gepard and the Roland 3. The Roland 3 just feels better than the Roland 2 at that point, as it also has the 3000 meter range and the helicopter range, which can be nice to snipe helicopters from far away. Yeah, Gepard 1A1 does really good damage against any aircraft flying over. Can annihilate ground units nowadays as well. Helicopter damage still needs to go up a bit, but that's coming soon, hopefully. Fliegerfaust, yeah, it's great against helicopters. It's not great against planes, but if some planes fly over it, it still can do something. But being, like, it's cost efficient against helicopters. It's not an insanely good unit, but it's cost efficient against helicopters. It's a really nice spam unit. You get 16 of them. You can really saturate the front line with them, and that's what you need to do, because your anti-helicopter aircraft and anti-aircraft in general are a bit mediocre, so you need some support here. Helicopter-wise, you get Apaches, and I like Apaches. I'm not so big on the pass, so I'd rather take the Apaches here. Yeah, the Apache is armored, the Apache does damage. It's a fantastic helicopter still, even though it has been nerfed a couple of times, and quite significantly so. It is still absolute king. 20 ECM helping out big time, and it's just really doing its job. Whilst the air tab is a bit sad. No option that you can take here is really great. We have a couple of decent options. I like the F-104 as a fighter because it can hunt down stuff. I like the F4F, so that's why I take the F-104 here. Both are not great fighters. You just want to use them for hunting down stuff, really. F4F has the advantage of better ECM and higher hit points. F104 has the advantage of speed. So that is the big thing here. F4Fs as bombers coming around nicely as well. Tornado coming in with decent bombs from up top, good ECM. So yeah, liking both of these options as well, but they're a bit expensive in my eyes. And yeah, this is the deck. Really all about the tanks and the combined arms with the infantry. It has top level combined arms. It has no forward deploy. It has a bad air tap. Big weaknesses, but it's still a fun deck to play. And we're gonna go into it next time. Thanks for watching, guys, and see you all around.